Started all at a very young age. I was 5 or 6 years old when I started being interested in cooking and cooking with my father, cooking with my grandmother. So it always was meant to be for me being a cook, and at a very young age already I fully intended to be a chef. So while young kids want to be pilots or sea marine doctors or different other sorts of professions, from a very young age I always said, like, I want to be a cook when I grow up. I love good food, and I love food being prepared honestly, fresh, without a lot of preservatives inside. I mean, you start putting MSG and stuff like that inside, you lose me. But I mean, if the food is nice, fresh, and prepared with heart, I'm always.
Why is it?
It was an accident, basically. I mean, I was on the way to Australia, and 2 weeks became 2 months, became 2 years, and now we're looking at 22 and some years. But it was mainly an accident.
Obviously, you like your.
It's home. It's totally home. I mean, I have little or no more connection towards Switzerland, where I came from. So, for me, Philippines is home. So that's it. So I mean, if I leave from here, it's like, where am I gonna go? So it's home.
What is your favorite Filipino food?
With Filipino food, dinuguan, I love it. Papaitan, I love it. Laing, I love it. A whole range of Kapampangan dishes. Anything north is really my favorite. I love, for example, the empanadas, the vegan or the patak empanadas. I mean, totally my favorite. I'm a big fan of goat. Any kind of what do you make out of goat, from the caldereta to the kinilaw to the soup, the papaitan.
When you first started cooking in Pampanga, did you know that it was a place that was known for, for good food, that people from there cooked in relatives that became?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was my time in Pampanga started in the late 90s when I was working for Yachts, which was the wine club. So it was always the root of good food, and even in today's time and age, I mean, the vast majority of my chefs are Kapampangan because they do have the best taste bud.
Wow.
So
It's true. It's not true or
no, it's
something.
not. I mean, it's truly. I mean, when you look at this well. I mean, and then you have Ilocanos, isn't it? Or Ilocos with another sort of birthplace of great Filipino food. So you get them there. You just have to also know how to balance and build a team around those people.
Have you always been this confident about your food, about the food?
Yeah. I mean, feel good about your own cuisine, like it, and stand for it, and to its own originality, and at the same time, don't be tied down too much. I mean, the same thing here. We cook a seafood risotto and we put cheese inside. If you would go to any red-blooded Italian, they say like, no, seafood risotto has no cheese in it. I say like, say it's who? Say it's a 200-year-old tradition. Have you ever tried it with cheese? And try it now, isn't it? I mean, why are my cuisine successful? Because people like it, isn't it? And if I like it and people like it, why do I need the approval from anybody else? I don't make a difference between somebody being a VIP or somebody being a regular Joe. I mean, for me, I don't. Anybody walking. I mean, we had the president coming here twice, and he had to leave because he didn't have a reservation and he didn't have room. I would not at any time prefer a VIP over a regular sort of client just because on the strength of his name.
But did you know that he was here and you were
I told by himself, sorry, I mean, you have no reservation, thank you very much, see you again next time. And no, I mean, he still makes fun of it by today, isn't it? I mean, like, you're the only chef who ever showed me the door. And I said, like, you're the only person who ever came here on a Saturday night without a reservation.
very pragmatic.
There's nothing about romance being in the kitchen. I mean, it's hard work, and romance and food and running a restaurant have nothing to do with each other. Okay, it's hard work and it's a pain in the neck most days. Okay, and that's a good day when it's a pain in the neck, isn't it? But I mean, between dealing with running a restaurant, dealing with the customers, dealing with the staff, and dealing with the everyday challenge, okay, there's absolutely no romance whatsoever.
Right. It's very cool to be a chef, right? What advice do you have for people who want to do that? Want to get into it?
Work hard. You're not a chef for a decade or more. Okay, you're a cook and you're a comedy cuisine, and maybe after 6 years or so, you may be a chef de partie where you're able to keep one section. But in today's time and age, when I started, we were cooks, okay, and even today, I'm a cook, okay. The word chef is an invention of the last decade, maybe a decade and a half, isn't it? And 22 years ago, when we came and cooked for those rich and well-to-do between Forbes Park and Das Marinas and a very, very young Ayala Alabang, we were nothing. It was basically mate, driver, and then cook. Okay, and today, a lot of those people, they look upon us like little gods. Okay, we are not. Okay, we are most of the time S.O.B.s with a very bad attitude, and that's about it, isn't it? And all those little glamour sort of glorifications which are now made upon us. Thank you very much, but it's not really needed.